This is Dianella tasmanica Variegata Tasmanian Flax Lily, as is the common name some use, and it's a really lovely evergreen variegated grass-like plant. Also has a flower though, and I'm not a big fan of the flower. They're so small that they're hard to see, and because of that they feel a little messy for my eye. You'll see photos of that in a moment. So this plant, most of this video you're looking at was shot in Puerto Vallarta, Mexico, and they used hundreds and hundreds of these plants in this resort that I was at, and I wanted to show you this particular grouping I thought looked really nice. So one of the big keys to using this plant and having success with it for me is to put it in part shade. I live in an area in Northern California where it is very hot during the summer, 90 to 100 degrees, but we also have very low humidity, under 20% much of the year. Where you're looking at here is in a tropical area and they have high humidity. But even with high humidity, when I saw this used in full sun, it often burned. And so if you want it to look like you see here, where the leaves have nice green with the white striping on the side, then I highly recommend that you use it in part shade and avoid the hottest part of the day for where you locate it. You're just going to have a much healthier, happier looking plant grouping. Here you can see some of the flowers, and again, they're very hard to really pick up on, so for me, they just look a bit messy. It's not why you would want to use the plant. It's really all about the foliage. So these plants get 16 to 24 inches. The book says they get taller than that, but I've never seen them more than 24 inches high. Says they can get up to 36, and that might apply more to the green variety. You can see there on the left there are some green leaves. You know, variegated plants are a mutation generally, and so they have mutated from a green variety, and then when it goes back to green they call that reversion. This is the first reversion I've ever seen on this plant, and I've seen lots and lots of them, so I don't think that's a big problem with Dianella Variegata. Evergreen, as I mentioned, that's what I love about this. I'm always looking for grass type plants that are evergreen in my designs. Where I live, it gets down in the 20s Fahrenheit during the winter. This handles that just fine. We just had a very severe winter in the mid-20s, and mine didn't burn or even react to it. The book says that these are hardy down to about 10 degrees Fahrenheit during the winter, so use that as a guide. That's what I can tell you about it. Just a great texture and color play. So if you want 12 months of interest, this is really nice that way. Also used in masses. I'm not big on using a lot of white variegation in big groupings, but the way they did it in this resort, where they budded it up to a lot of green, it played very nicely. So I think in design, that's something you can look at doing. But I use it usually in a clump of about 2 to 4 feet across to give an impact zone or punctuate a corner or soften something that's harder. That's what I can tell you about Dianella tasmanica Variegata Tasmanian Flax Lily. Enjoy. One last thing, in terms of water, they like regular water, but I've kept mine pretty dry at times, and they take to that just fine, but you're more likely to get margin burn on the leaves. So I would say, especially if you have drier air, the water you're going to need more of, and if you have more humidity, you won't need quite as much.